Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, a very good evening to us all, and welcome to this month's Agro Inspire webinar. This is actually our first series for the year. Wow, so it's not out of place to say Happy New Year. All right, everyone, you're most welcome, and we're glad to be sharing with you today the agro investment opportunities in Imo State. And we titled it part one because, like we all know, in exploring the agricultural potential of Imo State, it is inexhaustible. So what we do today is to share part of these opportunities, and just sit tight, invite your friends, look out for your friends who are not here, and especially people who are looking to starting up an agro investment business. Call them, contact your friends, contact your relations, contact your children, contact everyone. Let them be on this call. It's a must call for everyone, and especially at a time we are in now. So let everyone join in quick, 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 quick. All right, so we'll continue while we wait for them because it's already 4:30. And like we all know, agriculture is
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Nothing.
agriculture is a good mine, right? Agriculture is a good mine for investors, especially for investors who are willing to take strategy steps. Okay, and Imo State in particular has vast opportunities for agro investment. Why is this so? Because it has fertile land, it has favorable climate, it has also a growing demand for agricultural products. The truth is that we can never get it wrong with farming, because whether, no matter how bad the economy is, we will have to keep eating food. So this presentation is going to highlight key areas for investment, profitability, and support available for agri businesses. So sit tight and make sure you have your pen, you have your paper, because we are going to be spilling secrets. We're going to be spilling knowledge, okay, on this call. So, like we all know, key agro investment areas, there are plenty, but we're just going to talk about few. Okay, when we talk about agro investment, we look at crop production, we look at livestock farming, we look at agro processing and value addition. We also look at agro business services, look at bee farming, hydroponics, greenhouse farming, BSF farming, mushroom farming. And on this call, you're going to be learning most of this key investment area. So sit tight, call everyone that needs to be here. It's very important. Call everyone that needs to be here. They need to hear, they need to learn, and they need to apply. If we're going to change the narrative in our state, if we're going to change the narrative in our nation, then everyone needs to be here. Everyone needs to be here, really. And so, when we talk about crop production investment, we're not going to talk much about crop production, okay? But these are some of the areas we can today, maybe some other time, maybe in our part two or part three, we'll talk about crop production. And actually, it's timely we do that because the rains are here, okay? But we've selected some areas that we're going to talk on today. So when we talk about crop production, we want to invest in crop production. You can think of cassava, yam, maize, rice, vegetable, pineapple, and plantain. All these are in high demand and they're very lucrative. Very lucrative. Okay, so if you decide to go for cultivation of cassava or yams or maize or rice or vegetables or fruits, you will never get it wrong. You will never ever get it wrong. Okay, because all these things are in high demand. Okay, so also, the same thing goes for livestock farming investment. You talk about poultry, you talk about fishery, you talk about piggery, you talk about goat farming. All these are huge, huge, investment that can yield a huge ROI. So if you're looking to starting a livestock farm, okay, you can think about these options. Today, we're going to talk about poultry farming, okay, from one of the experts, one of the best farmers. Okay, we have nationwide, right? Okay. So we can also look at agro processing and value chain. Remember, we talked about crop production, we've talked about livestock production. So when you're looking at investing, you can also think of agro processing, right? You can think of processing your garri, your cassava to garri, starch, and flour. These are huge topics on their own that we're going to look at with time. Okay, so you can also think about milling these agro produces into finished products. For example, you can mill maize into animal feed and flour. Also, you can process fish and meat for preservation and also value addition. Okay, you can package vegetables and fruits for the supermarkets and even for export. These are huge income generating businesses that you can look at, all right? And also you can think of food dehydration and preservation.
Yes.
Other areas we can look at is agribusiness services. So you can decide to invest in agribusiness services. Oh yes, oh yes. You can do this and you will be smiling to the bank every day. All right. So you can decide, okay, since we're having storage problem, a lot of farmers after producing, they have post-harvest losses. Can you come in and begin to work on the storage system? Or maybe warehousing for grains and perishables. We have a lot of farmers who produce, but after production, they don't have good storage facilities. So you can decide to invest in storage facilities for these agro produces, and that is huge. Another area we can look at, agribusiness service we can look at, is the cold chain logistics. Oh my, one of my friends is into this for poultry, fish, and frozen fish. To go and freeze a chicken in cold room, now I know how much it costs. It's expensive. Okay, so you can decide to invest in this. Okay. Also, you can
No,
look at digital solution for market linkage and farm management. And I'm telling you the truth, farmers, producers, in the farming sector are having a huge challenge when it comes to, market, getting the right market for their produce. So you can fill in this gap and invest in digital, management.
no, okay.
You can invest in what? Digital solutions. You can be in your house. You could think of creating an app or just a platform that could link farmers to the buyers, to people who will be needing their product. Okay. Also, you can think of investing by going into input supplies like seedlings, fertilizers, animal feed. These are huge income generating businesses that you can think of doing, and you will never ever get it wrong. All right. So, as you're thinking of investing in agriculture, you can think on these lines. Okay, I just want to give us an intro before I introduce our main speakers for the day. How about market opportunities and profitability? There is increasing demand for food due to population growth. Like I told you guys, if we are investing in the agro sector, we can never get it wrong. Why? Because there is an increasing demand for food due to population growth. There are opportunities both in local and export markets, and also in processing and value addition, you can boost your profitability. You can boost your profitability. You can also look at partnership with supermarkets, malls, hotels, and food processors. So there is a huge, huge opportunity out there if you decide to go into the you know, agro business opportunities. Okay, so like I told you, we are having seasoned speakers who are well versatile in the area of mushroom farming, poultry production, hydroponics, and beekeeping. And I am going to be calling up on the first speaker for today. I'll be calling Mr. Emmanuel Ube, an apiculturist, a well-renowned apiculturist. He's a lecturer in the Federal University of Puto, Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Okay, and he has been in the bee farming business for decades. He has studied far and wide, going to study about bee farming, and he is well versed in it. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, join me as we welcome our own apiculturist, Emmanuel Ube. Welcome, sir. We are glad to have you join us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be with you here. Hello.
Okay, go ahead,
Hello?
sir. We can hear you. We can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So I'm happy to be here. My area is beekeeping, apiculture, and Imo State, as you know, is one of the best places to do beekeeping as an enterprise with vast arable lands and good climate and vegetation with good forest. Yeah. So the beekeeping enterprise is a multi-billion naira enterprise contributing about $250 billion to the world economy. In Nigeria today, Nigeria consumes about 400,000 tons of honey annually and produces less than 10% of our consumption. Nigeria spends about $2.something billion annually to import honey. And most of this honey that Nigeria imports are substandard because most of them are syrup produced in the lab. So for us, we have good potential both for domestic consumption and for export. Our honey is one of the best in the world. Very good. So as it is, we are going to introduce beekeeping, and it's very, very easy. Many people are scared because of bee stings, but bees are very friendly insects. So one thing we need to know is that bees produce honey. It produces royal jelly, bee venom, wax, and honey, like pollen, bee pollen. So all these things are very, very marketable, and there's high demand for them, especially for the honey. A hive can produce up to 20 liters of honey at once. And currently, a liter of honey sells above 15,000 naira. So there's a huge potential in beekeeping here because in terms of input, you don't invest much apart from the construction of the hives. With a good vegetation, you just attract the bees and allow them to enter into the hive, and you start getting your honey within a short period of time. There's no cost for feeding. There's no cost for water, medication. Everything is almost there free. The bees rely on flower nectar, and nectars can be found anywhere around us, where there are trees and flowers, because the bees feed on these flowers to produce honey for us. So as you can see, the investment in beekeeping is very minimal. One good thing about beekeeping is that over 80% of all agricultural production depends on honeybee pollination. So as a beekeeper, while you are keeping bees, you are also helping to conserve the environment and enhancing biodiversity. Crops and fruits will be, fertilized, kind of pollinated, resulting in quality seeds and fruits. So beekeepers are friends of the environment. So when we talk about honey, the demand for honey is very high. We cannot meet up the demand, even locally here. And in terms of exports, we produce quality honey. We don't feed our bees with sugar syrup compared with the ones we get abroad. So that is why our honey is highly priced. So most of the honey that comes abroad, they feed their bees with sugar syrup. And here we don't feed our bees. Then secondly, there's a disease that is called varroa mites that is ravaging bee colonies all over the world. It's not affecting our bees here much. So you discover that we have little or nothing to spend when it comes to beekeeping. Anybody can be involved in beekeeping production. The technicalities are very cheap, and the inputs involved are very, very cheap. For instance, when you get a hive, it takes about 10 years before you talk about replacement. A hive, very cheap. You can sustain that hive, can be with you for the next 10 years, producing over 20 liters of honey per harvest. Apart from the honey, like I told you, we have beeswax. Beeswax has over 350 industrial use. It is used to cast artificial teeth. Beeswax is used for crayon, cutters, cream, organic creams. It's used for wood finishing, for candle, for polish, for crayon. It is used for pharmaceuticals. 70% of beeswax produced all over the world are used by pharmaceutical companies for the production of drugs. So the demand is very high. We have bee pollen, we have royal jelly, we have bee venom. All these things come from the honeybees. And moreover, you can incorporate beekeeping in your regular farming. Having a crop farm, you can introduce beekeeping around because it doesn't occupy more space. A plot can take up to 15 hives. 15 hives can give you over 150 liters of honey. Like I told you earlier, a liter of honey is above 15,000. Some people say 20,000 originally. And one thing we need to know is that over 80% of the honey you see around us are fake, produced from molasses and other substandard materials. If you are involved in beekeeping, producing good honey, the sky is your limit because the market is so huge. I am into beekeeping. I cannot satisfy the demand. People will come and ask me, please, can you come to supermarket supply? So I don't even have enough to supply because the demand is very high. So it requires more people to come in because there is a great gap. Like I told you earlier, we import honey worth over 2 billion. You can Google it online. Our production is very small. Less than 10% of the entire, we produce just about 10% of our consumption. In Imo State now, beekeepers are very few, and we have vast forests and vegetation that we can keep our hives. The technicalities, very, very minimal. We offer training, consultancy, and also encourage people to come into beekeeping. A trial will convince you. There's no much talking about it because what I know is that the moment you start beekeeping, producing all these products, you cannot satisfy the demand. And the labor is minimal. It's not an activity that requires your daily presence. You can decide to visit your hive once in 3 months, once in 5 months, once in 2 months, depending on the location. So it's a very easy enterprise, and that calls for everybody to involve themselves. So it's very practicable, very encouraging, and it gives you reliable income, sustainable income, and at the same time ensure biodiversity, food security. So beekeeping is a viable enterprise, and we encourage people to come into it. We'll offer our expertise and technicalities so that at the end of the day, Imo State will be a hallmark of honey production in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is mind-blowing. This is, I don't know, revelation. I mean, I'm going to start my own beehive, sir. I'm really going to start my own beehives. I want to be able to.
Yes, you can incorporate beekeeping in all your activity in the farm. Those people that are into crop farming, introduce beekeeping, it will increase your production by 30% or 40%. If you're into animals production, you can keep beehives around you. Some people keep them around their houses. It's something that is very easy to practice. If
Wow.
once you get the knowledge of handling honeybees, you can discover that bees are very friendly insects. And more especially now that we are talking about climate change, we are talking about biodiversity conservation. Beekeeping has become very imperative. It is good for us to start beekeeping so that we can sustain our environment and improve our sustain biodiversity, increase pollination services. They are the only remaining pollinators we have now in the world. Butterflies are gone, grasshoppers are gone. These are the major agent of pollination in the world. Wow. And all efforts should be geared towards protecting them for our own good. Wow. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. And you mentioned that there are other products that we have. And what really caught my interest is that you said bee wax. Bee wax can be used for artificial teeth.
Yeah, they use it to cast artificial teeth, and the demand is so high. I cannot satisfy the demand because, like most of the universities around, where they offer dental technology or dental management, during their project, the students rush here to buy bee wax, which they use to cast artificial teeth. Paraffin wax cannot work, and bee wax, as far as we are concerned, I don't think there's anybody that sells bee wax within this town, apart from me or maybe one or two persons.
Wow.
So some people buy it from me to produce organic creams.
Wow.
Yes, organic creams. But the world over, pharmaceutical companies use it for the production of drugs.
Let me unmute it, sir, in case you're talking.
Wow. Well, this is huge. Does anyone here have questions to ask? I mean, how many of us want to explore the business opportunities in the bee farming sector? Here's an opportunity for you. Mr. Imaube, would you be willing to take anyone here who wants to go a bit further to learn about bee farming and also make a business out of it?
Yes, I'm available always at any time because part of my desire or my interest is to ensure that we have sustainable beekeeping. I have an NGO that we are working on now, Save the Bee Project. We are doing everything possible to encourage people to go into beekeeping. It will increase our food production. Like I told you earlier, 80% of all agricultural produce are pollinated by the bees. So I'm available and willing to offer my services for people or a group that are interested in the business. Very profitable.
Awesome.
Very profitable enterprise. You have nothing to do.
Awesome.
Beekeeping offers about 6 major products for you. And the demands are very high. Royal jelly, for instance, is one of the most expensive bee products. So you can also harvest it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so very much, sir. And for any of us who would want to access either the mentorship package or the direct consultation package, you could get back to me. I'm going to drop my number on the chat so that you could get back to me. I'll connect you directly to Mr. Imaube, and he will guide you. He will hold your hands. Whether you are within Imo State or outside Imo State, he's going to hold your hands and he will show you step by step how to go about starting your own bee farming business. And like you already heard, this is a huge gold mine. Every smart business person here, every smart person with a business mindset who is not satisfied with just what he or she is earning currently should think about bee farming as an alternative source of business. So once again, I want to thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you so very much. Does anyone have any question for Mr. Ube, or maybe you just write down your question at the end of the session? We're going to have question and answer section, and then you could ask your questions. All right. For want of time, we're going to move to the next speaker, and here on this call is a mushroom farmer. Oh no, you've not seen mushroom farming in this way before. She is an amazing lady. She has been exploring the world of mushroom In fact, if you are the type that don't know much about mushroom, by the time pharmacolation Nwachukwu is true, you start you start salivating. Whenever I see those mushroom recipes, I will like, Mom, please. I've not eaten mushroom before, but seeing you produce
Oh
mushroom,
my
I
God.
want to, I want to, it's amazing.
Thank
It's
you,
amazing.
Mama.
What she's doing in the world of mushroom is amazing. And she has trained a lot of mushroom farmers. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of our time, and if our hands are not so very busy, let's put our hands together for Mrs. Kelechi Nwachukwu. Ma'am, you're
Good
most
evening. Good
welcome
evening.
to Agri Inspire
Thank you
webinar.
so much. Thank you so much.
Welcome,
So
ma'am.
much to talk about in mushroom, but I'm just going to try my best. Thank you so much to maximize the time. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen on that so that we can be carried along. It was actually strange when I first got into the mushroom production, but with time, I adjusted, I learned what it took, and I asked questions. And today, it's been over 3 years, and I think I'm so excited that I did so. So I want to share my screen. Okay. Just a minute. Okay, can you see my screen, please? Are we together?
Can hear you. Can hear you.
Okay, please, can you see my screen?
I've seen a static screen, the key investment sector and profitable opportunities.
Okay, no. Okay, that means I didn't get it. I'm trying to, okay. Okay, so my topic is on navigating the world of mushroom, the commercial mushroom farming, navigating the world of commercial mushroom farming.
Can you try
Okay,
share
I
your
think
screen again? Just one more time.
Yes, I'll have to try again because I really need us to, okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, okay. So let's do this, my PowerPoint.
It's okay. If it's not working,
Okay.
we can do listening to you.
Okay, let me just take from there. Okay, so we're talking about the world of mushroom. I am Kelechi Nwachukwu, as she mentioned, and I am a microbiologist from Futo, and I'm privileged to lead an organization called Fruiting Gardens. And we focus on agro businesses, mushroom production to be specific. All right, so why are we talking about mushroom? You find out that there are challenges that are preventing our time today. For instance, look at the age expectancy. A lot of people do not live up to those ages that we knew our forefathers to have lived. We look at the effects of the high cost of food, look at the rampant junk food, challenge in finances, and also the need for alternative red meat. At a particular age, we should stop eating red meat. And then we have anemic cases. I know of people, one or two people that died of shortness of blood. But these things could have been avoided. We also have issues of unemployment. And this is one of the reasons we should actually talk about mushroom. So why are we talking about this? There are so many untapped opportunities, both in health and in wealth when it comes to mushroom. And then it also promotes waste management. You find out that what we need to produce it are things we can find around us. Okay, so mushroom has gone a whole long way to curb unemployment. In fact, countries like America, France, Europe, they are the top 3 countries when it comes to Asia, China, not to forget, when it comes to mushroom production, and it is helping their national GDP. This is, Nigeria, we are still importing mushroom. Is that ridiculous? And if you go to shops like everyday ShopRite, it's very expensive. You can have a kg for 8,000 naira because these things are imported, whereas we can actually do them here. So I really wish you can see my slide. Okay, so let's look at what we are going to achieve in this webinar. So we're going to have a grasp of a little knowledge about mushroom production. We're also going to explore the market. Okay, are we together?
Yes, we are
okay,
together.
We're going to also. Okay, so we're going to also have a little guidance into setting up our farm, and then we'll navigate through the business.
Huh?
Pardon? Okay, so
Mona.
so what?
Mona.
Sir, is that okay?
Continue.
So
please.
the question is,
I'll mute the person. Just continue.
Okay. So the question is, what is actually mushroom? The course of marketing it, people ask me, what is mushroom, especially the younger generation. They've never heard of it. So what is mushroom or Agro? So in English, you can say it's a fruiting body because it has this umbrella part of it. That is what is very obvious to everybody. So that is a fruiting body, of fungi. So it's not a vegetable. It's actually a living thing. Okay, so that's mushroom. The older generation, even till now, some people still go to the forest to pick it. But it's dangerous because there are different types of mushroom. There are edible ones, and then there are non-edible ones. But most people that grew up in the locals, they say they know it. They know they went to So some of the confirmed mushroom we know mushroom like oyster mushroom. There is wood ear, there is agaric, there is shiitake. So many types of mushroom, over 200 species of mushroom that can be eaten. And why should you and I eat or market mushroom? One key thing about mushroom is that it contains what we call selenium. Now, this selenium stops the growth of tumor. It prevents cells from damage, and it also supports the immune system. It prevents heart disease as well. These are all proven causes. And in fact, there's a species of mushroom that helps people that go insane. I think it's called psychedelic. We've not really grown it in this part. Now they use it to cure mental illnesses. So mushroom has diverse benefits. How can you and I produce mushroom? There are 6 to 7 basic steps. I'm just going to rush through them. We still have training coming up by the Thursday of this week on each of these steps. But the first thing we do in producing mushroom is to get where it will grow. It grows on wood. So one of the best bets is the use of sawdust. You can also use corn, oca. Corn stalk. I have grown mushroom with sugarcane badges. That's the back of sugarcane, and it worked. You can grow it on grass as long as the mushroom can find what it can feed on that substrate. We call it substrate. So we compost the sawdust, then you get what we call the spawn. That's a seed. You can actually get this from the stem part of the mushroom. It might sound so vague, but when we go into the train, you understand each of these steps. It's very simple. It's just like putting a seed to the soil. But this time around, you put the mushroom into your prepared compost or substrates. Okay. So we sterilize because there are other organisms that will want to compete with that mushroom. If you're using sawdust, for instance, we're going to sterilize it for about 4 hours to make sure that any other organism that can grow on it will be killed off. If not, they will grow and will not allow your mushroom to grow. We sterilize, we bag, we incubate. Mushroom doesn't like light at the very initial stage of germination in the forest. At that initial stage, you don't want light. Then the next stage is cropping. When they have grown to the point you see what we call pinhead, you start watering them. Okay, from watering, we harvest. Okay, so let's look at the markets. Interestingly, it has globally, like I mentioned initially, some of these countries are already enjoying mushroom production. It is currently value, had to research on this, and they said in 2024, the cost was about 71.81 billion. This is what the country was making from mushroom. And they are projecting that by 2033, it will be about 119 billion. Yes, so from the Asia region, countries like China and Japan, they've been into mushroom for years. And they have really enjoyed about 79.83% of the market. That's a large market. You know where the Asia region, Africa is nowhere to be found. Africa, we're still growing when it comes to mushroom, whereas these things are growing. Some of them even grow at our backyard, do you understand? And we're still importing them. So the market is actually there. All right, so locally, the Nigerian has been recorded at $3 million as at 2024, according to research. And there has been a 13% increase from the last year. And the research said the reason is that people are becoming aware of the nutritious value of mushroom and also the health potential. So they're becoming aware, and so there's an increase. So as at 2024, Nigeria had about $3 million sales in mushroom, but then importation is still ongoing. Nigeria had like 365 shipments of mushroom. You know, when I read things like this, I weep because this is actually something we can all okay. Let me quickly go into the cost of production. Mushroom production 70,000 naira, because a whole lot of things can be improvised, especially if you're doing scale. A lot of things can be improvised. Then if you want to go larger, we're talking about 200,000 to 300,000 naira. So looking at the cost, this very minimal. The return on investment is huge. Now, if you produce each kg of mushroom, depending on the location of the seller, each kg can go for 3,000 to 1,000 naira. Now, imagine you're producing up to 10 kg in a day. You understand? That means you have 40,000 naira in a day. This is what some people work for the whole month. This amount of money is what somebody works for the whole month, but you can get it in a day in mushroom production. Why? Because you have learned the technique and the market is huge. Right now, I have a collaboration of about 4 to 5 other mushroom farmers. And then one of them is someone I trained, and I'm so excited that I have somebody in the market that I train into mushroom production. And it excites me when I see her. So we collaborate because this is not a thing of I want to hide my products, I want to hide my. We cannot sustain the market like our brother said about the honey. The market is wide, and people need this mushroom. It's very wide. So we collaborate, we partner, and we try to, when I run short of my supply, I quickly call to my other partners and I pick from them and supply. So the market is huge. And this is a call for every other person to come in and enjoy the returns, okay? What are the challenges we face? Because I won't tell you it's all rosy, but I'll tell you that the challenges can be taken care of. You understand? Okay, So one challenge is the environment. The environment, we grow under a shade and ensure we water at the right time. So such a humid, so one has to be conscious of the environment. Like during the dry season, we all sworn into action to ensure we keep watering. This is normal water in the morning, water in the night. We have to water morning, afternoon, evening. It just has to keep wet. And then it's affected production, but they still produce. So you have to be conscious of the environment. It should never be dry. Just keep watering. Another challenge we can look out for, but that can be managed, is contamination. You have to have a very clean environment if you want to produce mushroom around you, because there are other organisms that will like that food that mushroom is eating, and so they want to grow there. One is mold, our green mold. So ensure that your hands are washed while putting in the seeds, the mushroom seed. Ensure the environment is clean. Whatever we are using is sterilized. So these are things we can easily, as long as you have hygiene as a part of you, you can easily do this. Finally, is pest control. If you have a place that is infested by rats, do your to your mushroom cage or has a net around it. Just to prevent rat, because they come for that spawn, they come to eat it. Okay, so how do I market it? Like I said, you can sell to other business people. You can sell directly to customers. You can also sell online. I've been enjoying online sales for some time now. And you can also do what we call value-added products. You can convert mushrooms to become seasonals and sell it off in the market, because people prefer them dry. You understand? And also you can partner with other mushroom growers. All right. So the call to action is you have to contact us today and let us start this production. The market is waiting for you, both the health benefits and the money. It needs to come into your pocket. Okay, Ma'am, I think with this I can say a very big thank you.
Oh, amazing, amazing, amazing.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you so much, Farmer Kelechi, like I always call her. So I don't know if anyone have any question. You can drop your question on the question section. Okay, or you can raise your hand to ask questions. Okay, that's been an amazing section. Okay. Thank you, Farmer Kelechi.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, someone is raising hand here. We just take one question. Any other question will come at the end of the training. Okay. So who owns this hand? I'm trying to see. Okay, Mr. Maxwell Ofebu, you can unmute yourself and ask your question quickly before we welcome our next speaker.
The person that just did the presentation now, can you come and inspect an environment, that one wants to deploy for the mushroom production? Do you inspect environment?
Yes, I can. But one thing we do in business is that every service it's called a counseling service. Do you understand? And there is a fee attached.
Okay, that's
assuming you're one of my trainees. Assuming you're one of my trainees, I've trained you. I will do it free of charge. Do you understand? But if I'm called to help set up a farm or inspect, it will come with a charge. But yes, we do. So you don't invest so much and lose at the end of the day.
Okay, can you give me an idea of what it's called?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Maxwell. When you contact us, we'll tell you. I'm going to give you Farmer Kelechi's number, and then you can discuss with her based on maybe you want to go for the mentorship package or you want to go for the consultation package. Both of you will discuss and come to a price. Is that okay? Thank you very much, Mr. Collins. I hear you very well. You talk, say we go talk on this mushroom matter later. No wahala, I dig it. We go talk, eh? I go give you Pharmacolation's number. So you go if you ask any kind of question what you want to ask. And for the people who don't they ask for the bee farmers number, I don't already share them, but you fit still contact me for my number we already don't share. Make I give you a number one-on-one, link you directly to Mr. Ima Ube. Okay, thank you so very much, Pharmacology Nwachukwu. That was an amazing session. Wow, wow, wow. This is getting interesting. Yeah.
Thank
Is
you
there
for
anything
the
like
privilege.
that? All right, all right. Now you guys haven't seen anything yet. Oh no, you've not seen anything yet. I am going to introduce to you someone you are that's going to really explore, expose everything about the poultry business to you. She's an amazing woman, and you won't believe I've not met her one-on-one, but we talk, we gist, we talk like we've known for years. She's an amazing friend, a mother, a great woman, a mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, join me if your hands are not too busy as we make welcome Dr. Ngozi Lumanze. Ma'am, you're most welcome. You can unmute yourself and let's hear you, ma. Mr. Foibu, you can put your hand down. Ma'am, we're waiting to hear from you. Madam Ngozi, you're on this call. Kindly unmute yourself and let's hear you. We are waiting. Okay, so while we wait for her
But the
to
network is very bad. Very, very bad.
It's where, ma'am. It's where. But we can hear you. Please go ahead, ma'am. Let's hear about the poultry world.
My network is wonderful.
But we can hear you. Kindly go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma.
Okay. Poultry is an amazing. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
It's so easy. I don't think I tried much. Good evening. Oh, network is so bad.
We can hear you, ma. Go ahead. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Me.
Okay, we can
Hello.
hear. I think she's not hearing now.
Okay. Okay. Poultry is an amazing investment. Very, very big. It's a very short-term thing when it comes to broiler keeping, when it comes to layers, and there is amazing one that every woman can keep. That is the local bed, local production. But I'll take them like this. And your return in investment is very high. When it comes to poultry, there is a lot of things you have to consider. A lot of people are into poultry, but they are not doing the right thing. And when you don't do the right thing, you don't get the good result. You don't have a good result. So first of all, in poultry, you must consider your structure, your seed, and your feed, and then your market. When you get these things right, you are walking straight to the bank with full bags of money. But most of us are right. And your mentorship is very, very important. A lot of people establishing poultry, they don't have a mentor. They just start. And they go to the shop and say, oh, how is this thing done? How is it done? I want this medicine. Why my chicken is poo-pooing red, is poo-pooing black. But if you go through a mentor or you invite consultants, you will get it right from the structure. A lot of people are getting this thing wrong right from the structure of your poultry pen. Don't then touch it. Don't consent. So if you put this thing in place, you'll be the happiest person on earth, and you will enjoy whatever you're doing in poultry. And with this seminar we are having, we can introduce it to you. We can introduce it to you. Where after production, you are enjoy yourself. No longer run thereafter. So it is very, very important. But the main aim of this meeting, so that you'll be able to learn, you'll be able to start right, you'll be able to sell well. Some people start this thing, but they don't know where to sell. They don't know how to sell. They don't know where to get good seeds of these beds. They don't know what is the good. In a situation where you will start small and go big. You can start small and go big. You can start with 2 cartons, 3 cartons. You'll be making your profit within 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks, you've sold and you make the profits. A lot of people are crying. Like right now, there is plenty of birds everywhere. Why? Because of what happened between January and February. There is no bed anywhere. So when these things are programmed very well, you know what to do, how to do it, and how to get the right results. And most especially, the most important thing in poultry production is your onset, which is the brooding. Very, very important. When you brood well, you get a better result. But when you brood badly, you won't get any result. It is struggling. Even at 2 kg at 5 weeks, you'll be struggling to get 2 kg at 5, 6 weeks. You get 3.5. 3 kg, 3.5. 3 kg, 3.5, you're good to go. And there is market available, readily available. Because what we do here is we produce for market people. We don't go into processing. We don't go into processing, and that is where the wealth is. In processing, that is where the wealth is. Once you finish your production, Piam, you have processed. You start selling. You are not running into, oh, my feed is finished. This thing is costing me. The birds are dying. Like in Owerri now or Imo State, we don't have a processing plant where you can take your birds to process, blaster, and then begin to sell at your own time. So it is very, very important. And we are here to help you achieve that. We are here to help you achieve it. We are here to help you achieve it, and you have a target. The most important thing is that most people in production, a lot of people are into poultry, but they don't have targets. They don't know why, how, and what they are, who they are producing for. But when you join this team, this winning team, all those things you will show you how to do it and how to get good results. Am I being heard? Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you very well, ma.
Hello.
We can hear you very well, and we are getting amazed by the facts you are dropping. You know, now when we talk about poultry production, is it only broiler production? Can we also do layers production for someone who wants to start?
No.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
What is the minimum amount of money that someone can use to start up broiler production, say like 100 beds? And also, what is the minimum amount of money that one can use to start up layers production. And do you have an idea of what the ROI is like? So if somebody you want to advise someone who is intending to start up a poultry business, and the person wants to start with 100 beds, like how much should the person have? And if the person puts in the amount, I heard you say that within 6 weeks, we can be having about 3.5 kg, weight of broiler. That is amazing. Okay, so if the person puts in that amount in 6 weeks,
Wow.
or at most 7 weeks, how much should the person be expecting?
Assuming you want to start with 100 beds, just put it average of, say, at 6 weeks. At 6 weeks for 100 beds, you'll be spending about 500,000.
Okay.
And in that 500,000, you'll be looking towards 500,000 at 6 weeks.
Is that the startup capital? Is it 500,000 the startup capital? 500,000 naira. Is it startup capital? What if the person puts in 500,000 naira is equivalent of how many dollars again? That should be about 200 or $250. Those that can calculate it should do it, because I have some international viewers here. Okay, so if I am starting my 100 beds with 500,000 naira, it can be the equivalent in dollar can be found that later. Okay, and I rear my beds. Will 500,000 be enough for me to rear my beds up to 6 weeks? And if 500,000 is what I am investing in rearing my bed to up to 6 weeks, what should I expect as my ROI, assuming I follow your mentorship sections? Ma'am, can you hear us? Oh, it seems we lost her. I really, really want to know more about poultry business. Please, ma'am, when you come back, we've got a lot of questions for you. Wow, wow, wow. An amazing session, right? I was really, really wow, when she said that within 6 weeks your birds can grow, that your broiler can get up to 3.5 kg. I mean, we must hold on to Madam Ngozi. She has to teach us the secrets. She has to teach us the secret that she's using to rear her birds and get 3.5 kg life weight for broiler. That is huge. I mean, if you can do that, that is huge profit. Okay. Ma'am, are you back? We want to hear you. We're asking a question. Kindly unmute yourself, ma'am, and answer us. If I invest like 500,000 naira in my barrister, okay, we will answer we will give you room to ask your question. Let's see if Madam Ngozi can answer our question. Madam Ngozi, if I invest 500,000 naira to get to rear my 100 beds up to 6 weeks, how much should I expect as a return on investment? Can you hear us, ma? Let me unmute you. Ma, we're listening.
Okay. You look towards 250 to 200.
Profit.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Can hear
wow,
you.
this guy network.
We can hear you.
We can hear you, ma.
Hello, we can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I say at least 200 to 250.
Wow.
200 to 250.
That's like 50% ROI. Wow,
Sure.
ladies and gentlemen, we've got an opportunity here. Who is interested? Chat me up. Madam Ngozi has got to show us the secret. So you could chat me up and I'll give you Madam Ngozi's number, and then she will share the secrets that she uses to, raise her birds to weigh 3.5 kg and above in 6 weeks. That is huge profit. And that means if she says that we're investing like 500,000 naira to raise 100 birds, and after 6 weeks, we are getting a total of 750,000 naira, that is huge. That is huge. That is huge. So who is out there looking for where to invest? Here is an opportunity. Do not waste it. Grab it right away. Contact me, and then I will link you up to Madam Ngozi, and she will tell you the secret that you need. All right, Barrister Ukebu, we can see your hand has been up. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My question is to the lady that presented on mushroom. Madam, please, how much of a land, or I heard you say you can grow it on some other instruments. How much of those other instruments can we grow this mushroom? And I also heard you say you grow it in a humid area where there won't be any sunshine or something. So can we also do it in like an uncompleted building or something? And again, how do we preserve this mushroom while we are looking for the market? Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Should I go ahead and respond now, Mama Chima?
Kindly go ahead and respond.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question. It's a 3-in-1 question. And I'll start by saying, yes, mushroom needs a very humid place. That is why it's picked in the forest. And notice, you observe where it's picked in the forest, it is under bigger trees, under shades. If you expose mushroom to direct sunlight, it can kill its growth. So even at the cropping season, when we start watering it, we ensure mild sunlight. We don't expose it directly to sunshine, okay? So these are all the environmental factors we're talking about that one has to be conscious of, which will be well detailed during the training. Talking of where they grow, mushroom can grow on an open land, but I will advise against it, looking at the pests and also looking at sunlight. An uncompleted building is perfect. All you can do is, if there is direct sunlight into the building, you could just shield it from the top. So it's perfect. It can grow in your kitchen, it can grow at the corridor. So it can grow within our houses. And one of the things that makes it possible is because it grows between 23 to 27 degrees centigrade. Abroad, they infuse things into their mushroom houses to ensure that they can achieve that temperature because it's cold over there. But for us, we don't need that expenses. It's natural. God gave us that climate, so it just grows naturally here. Okay. You talked about preservation. Okay. At times we don't get ready buyers. That's the truth. But dried mushroom is also good. It's just like crayfish, or for those that travel out, ugu. They don't go with fresh ugu. If you see them process it, dry it under sunlight, that's the same thing we do to mushroom. We dry under sunlight. We advise against oven because the oven will bake it a little. And when it bakes it, that turns another food, which will be eaten. So, but drying it is perfect. It can last 6 months, 1 year. And the dried mushroom is more expensive than the fresh ones because 1 kg of dried mushroom is actually big. You've dried out the water, so it has shrunk. To make up that 1 kg, you have to add more and more and more mushroom. So we sell it very expensive because of the quantity of mushroom. So you can dry it and sell. Then, like you talked about, you can actually grind it. By the time you've ground it, you can actually grind it. You can add some other things. I know of a woman that is doing condiments with her mushroom. You can label it anything. That's where we call value chains. You can now use them to produce other things. There are mushroom meat pies. Now, so if you don't get a ready buyer for the fresh one, we can convert them to value chain, dry it, and a whole lot of things. I don't know if I answered your question.
We're going to ask you more questions. You're going to answer more questions at the end of the section. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you for taking time to answer. Without wasting our time, let's make welcome. Oh my God, the hydroponics guy. I'm not sure you've met this guy before. Christian Wolisa is an amazing farmer. Okay, he has so explored the world of hydroponics that your life can never remain the same after listening to Mr. Christian Wolisa. When you see what we are achieving through hydroponics, then you'll be wondering, why are we still wasting our time in traditional farming system? So hydroponics is one of the smart farming techniques that we can adopt. And for any smart investor, you've got to listen. And like we all know, the bottom part is always the sweetest. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, join me as we make welcome Mr. Christian Wolisa of Gaikon Hydroponics.
You are welcome, Mr. Christian.
Welcome, sir. Kindly unmute yourself and let's hear you.
Good evening, everybody. I don't know, can I be heard?
Yeah, good evening, yes.
Oh my God, this work.
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Chioma, for this introduction. My head almost got exploded. The hyping was
Seems he's having network challenge. Okay, so we're waiting to hear from you. Seems you're off. Oh. Kindly unmute yourself and let's hear you, sir. You are muted. Mr. Chris Wolisa, you are muted. Unmute yourself and let's hear you. Mr. Chris, are you here? Unmute yourself and let's hear you. We can't hear you. Oops.
Why not call him on phone directly?
Hello, sir. Can you hear us? Mr. Chris, can you hear us? Okay, there we go with network challenge. I guess he's having some technical issues over there. Mr. Chris, we're waiting for you. So while we are waiting for Mr. Chris to come up, I want to encourage each and every one of us who wants to go into real-time farming, either doing beekeeping or mushroom farming or poultry production. We've got your back here. We've got your back here. I'm going to share my contact again. We've got our mentorship and consultation classes. You all know that there is no way you can learn all you need to know in order to start up any of these businesses in just 1 or 2 hours.
Hello.
Oh, great. We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you now.
Goodness.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Like I said, my name is Ngolisa Christian. I'm the CEO and founder of Gaikon Hydroponic Farm. So just a brief introduction about what Gaikon does before we go into the main business of the day. At Gaikon Hydroponics, basically we farm without soil. We farm on water solution. We've been able to design and develop a technology that
We lost you again, sir.
to plant Zoom, it will help us better. I'm trying to do that, it's not working. Which kind of network is this today? Hello? My God.
Yeah, we can hear
I can
you,
hear
though.
you
We can hear you, though. At times.
Yeah, okay, please, can you tell me
it's breaking, but we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. You said you farm without soil on water.
Yes. Please, how do I share my screen? I need to make presentation using screen. I need to show us what I'm talking about. How do I share my screen on Zoom? Can you guide me, please?
Facilitator, please guide him. Oh.
Host should give him the right, please.
Hello, Chioma, can you hear me? Hello. Chioma, you are speaking, but your mic is muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Can we see the screen? Is anything showing there?
No, not yet, sir.
Okay, please just hold on a bit. Let me. All right. This network may something else. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. Finally. It's coming up. Please just be patient. It will come up now. Okay, now. Why is taking this one forever again? It's coming up. Please don't be offended. It's loading from my end. It's showing me joining and it has not linked.
No problem. So while we are waiting for it, you can be giving us the introductory part of hydroponics.
I needed to use this screen so that it will be.
That's fine.
What I'm saying will be well understood.
That's
yes. Fine. Sorry, is there any other person that is left? If person can present, if there's any other person that is ready.
No, you are the only one remaining.
Okay.
But we were told that you are the last in the pot. That's the sweetest part.
Apologies, yes. Please. It's actually because I was on transit. Sorry. I just have.
You can do the presentation
to stop by somewhere along the road.
Later, we can get the slides to Chioma.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay then.
Yes, we can get
it's
the slides later. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell, for that suggestion.
All right. Let's do that then. Okay. Like I was saying, Geico Hydroponics is a company where we farm without soil. Hope I'm audible, right?
Very, very, we can hear you.
Good. So when we talk of hydroponic farming, hydroponic is purely farming without soil, farming on water solution. But there are also other systems of farming without soil, like the aquaponic system, where you farm on water, and inside the water you also have fishes inside the water. So it's a combination of aqua farm and hydroponics. So we call it aquaponic farming. We also have another one called aeroponics, where you plant on air. Aero, of course, we know is air. So you plant on air, the root is suspended on air. It's not inside water, it's not inside soil. And each of these systems of farming, be it hydroponics, be it aquaponics, or be it aeroponics, has their own unique advantages and disadvantages. So it depends on the crop you want to farm and what exactly you want to achieve. That is what will guide you in knowing which system to farm. But here at Gaikon, we are doing hydroponics. We are not doing aquaponics, and we're not doing aeroponics. Not because we do not have the technology for that, but because of the purpose we have chosen hydroponics. All right. So there are about 5 different systems of hydroponics. If you go on Google and type hydroponic systems, types of hydroponic systems, you will see some will be listed 5, some will be listed 7, some are even all the way to 8 in numbers. But when you study these systems and understand them very well, you discover that basically just 5 types. And these types are the wick systems, the deep water culture systems, the nutrient film technique, which is one that is more popular, especially here in Nigeria. Then we also have the ebb and flow systems and the drip system. This is what you see on Google, on internet, if you go ahead searching for types of hydroponics. But then, if you also take time to study all these systems, you will see that each of these systems need you to employ the service of oxygen pump and nutrient pump, meaning you will require electricity in your farm 24/7. Now, there is a different system that is called Kratky method. It's a new system of hydroponic farming. This Kratky method, I didn't my screen will permit me, I was to show all these systems in detail and explain them. This Kratky method can farm without electricity, but it also has its own shortcoming. Its own shortcoming is that you cannot farm commercial scale. You cannot farm on a commercial scale using Kratky system because it's cumbersome, it's labor intensive, and is not that productive. But it is very, very easy to set up, easier than every other system out there. So in summary, what I'm trying to say is that hydroponic systems requires constant supply of electricity in your farm, and whereby you do not need electricity, you cannot farm on a commercial scale. But we here at Gaikon Hydroponics, we understudied the 2 technologies. We went to Israel to understudy their own hydroponic system, which can farm but with electricity. And then we also went to US, Hawaii, to understudy the Kratky system, which you can farm without electricity, but cannot go commercial scale. And then we came back home to Nigeria, we discovered our own peculiar energy challenge, which is electricity, cannot help us. It's not commercially viable to bring those technologies from Israel to farm here in Nigeria because of high cost of electricity. That is, if you even see the electricity at all. So we in-house designed and developed a technology, our own system of hydroponics, whereby you can farm on a commercial scale and without electricity. So currently, in Nigeria and globally, to the best of my knowledge, we are the only one that can farm hydroponic system of farming on a commercial scale without electricity. And we name our own system of hydroponics, we name it Gaikon system. So basically this meeting, what we'll be discussing here is just the Gaikon hydroponic systems. So I have to lay this foundation for us to understand that there are many other systems out there. You can Google, you see a lot of them. You can choose anyone that suits you. But if you want to do what we are doing, when I send the slide, you will see the way we started and the whole process and the stages it took us to develop this technology from day one to where we are today. We are in over 15 states in Nigeria with huge and giant hydroponic farms. We have farm in Lagos, in Ondo, in Port Harcourt, in Owerri, in Anambra State, in Plateau State, in Abuja. So anywhere you are, you can tell us and then we'll direct you to the farm that is closest to you if you're interested in visiting any of the farm. And then you go and see for yourself. Then, because of the absence of this slide, I'm heading towards summarizing the whole presentation. So when you get the slide, you see the processes, as I've said, and what we have done at our farm. But let me just take this time out to explain or talk about the advantages of hydroponic system itself over soil farming, over farming in an open field and on soil. One of the major advantage is that using hydroponic systems, you can grow any crop where it is not even fashionable to grow such crops. Of recent, people from Imo State, Anambra State, and the Southeast, even Southwest, have started to break down myths that onions cannot grow in the South, except in the North, Northern Nigeria. You cannot grow onions in the South. You cannot grow carrot. You cannot grow cucumber. Before now, that was the myth. But as of today, people are now daring to challenge that myth, and they are breaking those myths. We are demystifying it, all thanks to all of us, the agricultural enthusiasts. So with hydroponics, you can grow any crop anywhere at all, be it whatsoever crop, be it whatsoever climate, weather, soil type, or water condition. So this is one of the major advantages of hydroponics. Another advantage of hydroponics is that it is not labor intensive. You don't, it's not stressful, let me put it that way. It's a stress-free farming.
Mr. Mwolisa, let me look at the slide showing now. Does it, can it be used?
Okay.
Can this slide suffice?
Is it yours or mine?
Yeah, there's a slide showing now, I'm sharing currently on hydroponics. Can we make use of it?
Yes, we can, but I don't have access to it. I can't control the slide here.
Oh, that's true. Okay, that's okay. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
But if you can be shifting the slide for me, just shift the slide through. Let me run through it and see what we have here. Then maybe you be shifting it while I do the talking. You control while I do the talking. Okay, continue. Okay. If you permit me, I would like to start the presentation all over again using this system, using this slide. Should we go ahead?
Yes. Yes.
But this is not the presentation. This is not the slide I prepared for today's presentation. But can you use it to drive home the points?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So Choma, please come back to the first slide.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I remember this slide now. I used it to make a presentation to
Sometimes
one of our webinar here.
Yes.
Yes. So basically this slide here is talking about Maslow's hierarchy of need. Maslow has understudied human need and discovered that food is our first need. Of course, we already know that, as all of us who are here knows that you must eat food. When you are sick, they will beg you to eat. When you are happy, you must eat food. When there is war, you eat food. When there is peace, food is the number one need of every man. So we have to pick serious interest in food production. Let's go to the next slide. That is just what this slide is talking about. The next slide, please. But why can't I share my own slide? Okay. So okay, let's just keep this one. Okay. Basically, what here is talking about is that in Nigeria, we have over percent or agricultural engagement, one agricultural engagement or the other. And that is the truth. You may think this statistic is a lie, but it's from National Bureau of Statistics 2021. Almost all Nigerians are doing one thing or the other. Either you are farming at your backyard or on a commercial scale, or you are into transportation of agricultural product or into processing of agricultural products. We are actually a farming nation. But out of this population, we can't even feed ourselves. We still import over 50% of what we need into Nigeria. So what is wrong? Please, the next slide. So this is the figure. You can see how the agricultural contribution to our GDP over years, and it's huge. But still, what is happening? The next slide, please. Just go to the next slide. Then go to the slide of what is the problem. If we are into farming, but still we can't feed ourselves, what then is the problem? Go to that next slide, Mas. Number 7. Ma, are you here? Good. Slide 7. Good. There are a lot of reasons why most of us are into farming, but still we cannot feed ourselves. Number 1 is lack of adequate know-how. Most of us just go into farming because our neighbor is doing farming. I listened to a very beautiful, sorry I came in late, but I listened to a very beautiful response to the snail farmer lady who explained how interesting farming is. And also the poultry farmer who gave us very interesting figures on return on investment. Most people, once they hear something like this, the next minute they are already going into farming without going for training. First of all, you need to be trained, know how to do this. How she was able to achieve 3 kg in 6 weeks. You need to go and undergo training. That training, Nigerians don't have patience to learn. And even some of those that goes for training do not pay attention to understand the nitty-gritty of the system. They feel they have already acquired enough knowledge to go into farming, and they just move on and invest and end up losing their investment. And then the next thing you hear is that agriculture is not working. The next point is a lack of adequate quality farm input. Of course, we know all of us are farmers. There is hardly a good quality seed in Nigeria. If you dare to import a good quality seed, the process you go through is very, very cumbersome and stressful. So most of us just import from neighboring countries, Ivory Coast, South Africa, leaving Canada, Israel, and all these other places where there are very good quality seeds. So, and then also other things like nutrients and the rest. I'm not saying that people do not import from those places, but on a larger scale, we're just circulating poor farm inputs. Very good. So the next one is you've passed the slide.
I've passed
okay.
it.
Okay, let's continue. Effect of high cost of food because of this shortage of our agricultural sector is not efficient. A lot of effect of it is hunger. There will be hunger. Children will go to bed hungry, aged. People will starve to death. People will sell off assets to buy food. Poverty will spread. Crime will follow. Sickness will become endemic, and so on and so forth. So in order to avoid these challenges, we need to pay attention to food production. The next slide, please, 9. I wish you can just go to hydroponic. That is where I'm interested in. Just keep going, Mark. I'm sure they are seeing this slide. Okay, hold on. I've done this introduction, what we do at Gaikon. The next one. Here I explain the aeroponic farming, the aquaponic farming, and the hydroponic farming. Then my just speed. So aeroponic farm, like I said, is farming on air. You can see this picture, slide 13. Slide 13, where the roots are suspended on air and water is being splashed on the roots. Can you put slide 13 so they will see it and understand what I'm saying? Slide 13, backward.
I should take it backward.
Slide 13, yes, ma'am.
Okay, slide 13, okay.
Good. So this is exactly how aeroponics is. The roots are suspended, they are hanging on the air. You see that, then there is a system that splashes water on the roots after a regular interval. And then the plants take up nutrients and they do very well. This system guarantees bountiful harvest because the root has ample supply of oxygen and the leaves have ample supply of sunlight. And everything is very, very perfect with aeroponics. The only challenge with this system is that you cannot grow grow any crop here without constant supply of electricity. All right. Then go to the next slide. Good. You see, this is people who are already doing aeroponics on a large scale. The picture on the left is the flat aeroponics, and the picture on the right is the tower aeroponics. You see that person standing there? Inside that vacuum where his plant is completely empty. There is nothing inside, no soil, nothing except air. Let's go to the next slide. So using this system of aeroponics, you can actually grow even root crops. You can see carrot growing here on the left picture, and strawberries growing on the right. So you can do strawberry in the east, you can do strawberry in Lagos. You must not only be importing strawberry from Jos, because Jos is the home for strawberries, but you can actually use aeroponics to grow anything you want anywhere, including yam. Go to the next slide, man. Good. You see where we are growing yam on air? You see where we are growing yam on air? This is pure aeroponics. This yam comes out very clean and free from any disease or anything. And it grows taller and huger because there is no limitation, no struggle. The yam is farm on soil to push through the soil. Energy is supposed to use to grow bigger is not exerting it in growth, in pushing, in labor. But when it's aeroponics, it's there for them to grow. Let's go to the next slide. I'm trying to rush it. Please, don't be offended. Next slide is aquaponics. I already explained it. Is plants plus fish, okay, which is aquaponic system of farming. And the next slide will show us how it is done. Slide 18, please. Good. So you see it on the surface is crops growing, tapping nutrient from the water tapping nutrient from the water. Meanwhile, the fish is also growing in the water. But with this system now, where the root is directly in where the fish is, you have to choose the kind of crops to farm. Make sure it's not a crop that fish can eat the roots. There are different species of fishes that don't eat roots and different species of plant that fishes can't eat. You have to consider this when farming this system. But if you do not want to have that stress, you go to the next slide and see how you can also do that without a problem. Go to the next slide. So you see this next slide, the fish pond is different and the plant bed is different. You just use pumping machine to circulate the water. You pump the water from the fish farm into the plant and then it soaks and go back into the fish. You see the circulation, right? Look at the arrow. That is how it goes. So that is aquaponics. let's go to the next slide, which is now hydro. Or yes, I've heard of it and I've searched further into it and I'm interested in it. So now let's do hydroponics in water, not on soil. Hydroponics is the cultivation of plants by placing the root in nutrients, liquid nutrient solution. So at GAICON, we are mainly concentrating on hydroponics. And look at the systems of hydroponics I've mentioned: root system, deep water culture, nutrient film technique, ebb and flow, drip systems. And all these, the first 5, you must reconcile out there. If you search, you will see. Then there came the Kratky system, developed by Professor Kratky from Hawaii, USA, who I understudied. And I blended his knowledge with that of next slide, ma'am. Good. So GAICON, this was where we started. We started this system we are looking at now, growing plants inside buckets of water, is purely practical. Hello? I should go on?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This one is purely practical. You can do this on your own. I can even teach you how to do what you are seeing on your screen now, even here on this webinar. You see it is very easy, very simple to do. All you need to do is get a bucket, open a hole on the cover of the bucket, get a net cup, put on it, mix nutrient water, put in the bucket, and plant your thing. Very easy. What you are seeing here is as easy as that. But then it is not sustainable because each bucket is independent. You cannot refill water into the system. Once the plant take off the water and you refill the water, the plant dies immediately because they will explain how and why refilling practically to farm on a commercial scale. Then if go to the next slide so you see better what we're talking about. Next slide, please.
So can you see the slides?
Yes, I'm seeing it now. Though it's not the slide I wanted. You went far.
I passed it. Okay.
Yes,
See here?
Yes. Just hold on here. So if you look at this, you see I've just lifted one of the covers of the bucket, and you can see the roots. Inside that bucket is water. But if you look at close to where my knee is, you see a hose connecting 2 buckets, right? Yes, and if you also look at the last bucket on that same roll, you see another hose coming out of it. So that hose is we trying to integrate Kratky with ebb and flow. Here, we connected the bucket so that we don't need to refill the water. The water gets refilled automatically. That way the root doesn't get drowned. Go to the next slide. So when we got to this level, when we are at the first level, when we are doing Kratky, our plant never passed those vegetative stage. We never harvested anything because at that time, that was about 12 years ago, we didn't realize the implication of some of the things that we are doing. So the plant will look lush, green, beautiful, but no fruit on it until we improve our technology and then you can see what's on your screen. We started producing. You see tomatoes looking very bountiful inside bucket, and the bucket is water that is inside. This plant became a wonder just after 2 weeks. Can you go there? Good. You can see it. Buckets, tomatoes, and plants. The next slide. Good. You can see when they are already ripe. This is the very first harvest we've made with hydroponics. You see the fruit looking very, very fresh, bountiful harvest, and the plants are very, very healthy and looking good. Let's go to the next slide. So after here, we've decided, okay, we've gotten the secret of this technology. We've gotten a bountiful harvest, very beautiful tomatoes. Then we decided to test other produce to see if our technology can guarantee the production of other produce. So we tried bell pepper. May I go to the next slide and we'll see what bell pepper did. And then here is our bell pepper. If we know what bell pepper is, I'm sure most of us do. This bell pepper, this fruit you are looking at now is a money-making machine. One single seed of this pepper, farm gate price is 1,000 naira. 1 kg of this pepper is 4,000 naira. 4 fruits should give you 1 kg. And 1 plant should be able to produce 2 kg in its lifetime. So imagine you have a farm of 5,000 plants, which is a very small space, just 50 by 100. 1 plot of land will give you plant population of 5,500 plants. And you're having about 2 kg per plant, which is 11,000 kg. Times 4,000 per kg, you see the amount you're making. So we tried with bell pepper and it did very, very well. The next slide. Yes. Then so that was the other slide was the first time we were doing bell pepper, and then we tried again the next season, which is this current slide showing on the screen, and it also did well. We tried strawberries, it did well. We tried cucumber, watermelon. I just don't want to bug us with all those things. We tried a lot of produce with our technology, and it did exceptionally well. We decided to improve the system. Instead of using bucket, why don't we have our in-house specially designed system that will house more plants and then increase productivity? And then we came to this. But funny me, I was overly greedy. You can see this barrel. This barrel is just 4 feet by 5 feet barrel. Sorry, 2 feet by 5 feet barrel. Are we here? Okay. The message was not for me. I saw a message on the surface. I was trying to maximize profit at all costs, and this small barrel you are seeing is housing about 140 plants, which is too much greediness, and they end up not doing well because they were too jam-packed. The next slide. Yeah. Then this is when we planted in that barrel, and then we decided to reduce the plant population per barrel. Instead of 140, we reduced it to 36. And then you see it in the next slide. The next slide, please. Good. You see, so this system, you can see, I don't know, this was supposed to be a video. Now, can you play it? Is it possible for you to play this video? Or if you cannot, let's just continue before the thing scatter again. This is supposed to be a video. If you cannot play it, leave it, let's go on. Maybe at the end of the presentation, I'll play video for all of us to see how the farm is. So now at this level, we now have so much confidence in how our technology works and how it does. We decide to commercialize. We now go out full scale. So we started commercialization of this system 8 years ago, after 5 years of intensive research. Then we got to the next slide. Next slide. Yeah, here we are at Gaikon Farm. Go on, the next slide. Just go on to all the points of advantage and disadvantage. Just freestyle See, these are just success stories. But then, like I said, there are other systems of farming out there. Gaikon is not the first to start this technology. You see, Oyibos have been into it for years. I did not invent the technology. I only reinvented the technology.
I'll eat it in the night.
I blended the knowledge of ebb and flow with the knowledge of Kratky. But Oyibos have been doing it. So this is one of the farm outside there. Go to the next slide. You see another one and another one and another one. Oh, you don't jump. No problem. There are a lot of pictures. Even if you go on the internet, you go on YouTube, you see a lot of them. There are a lot of mind-blowing farmers who are doing things on water. So now let's go to advantages and disadvantages, which is where I really want us to pay attention. Okay? Now, I started explaining this. Number one, I said that crops can be grown where it is not fashionable to do so. I've explained that. The second one is that labor for tilling, cultivating, fumigating, watering, and other traditional practices is largely eliminated when you are doing hydroponics. There is nothing that concerns you with weeding, nothing concerns with spraying, nothing concerns you with all those, stress that our parents went through farming on soil. Here you can wear your white suit and tie and go to your farm, attend to your crops and go home. That is why we call this farming white collar farming, not brown collar job. This is white collar farming. All right. Then another advantage is that maximum yields are possible. This is the one that is mind blowing. If you want to farm on soil, let's say you are doing greenhouse farming, but on soil, and your greenhouse is size of 50 feet by 100 feet, what your farm will take is 1,200 plant population. If you are doing tomato, or you are doing bell pepper, or you are doing cucumber or watermelon, apart from things like yam and the rest, if these are what you are doing and you are farming on soil, this will house 1,200 plant population. But with hydroponics, you are going to have 5,508 plant population. So you can imagine it's already times 5 of the size of what plant population of what you get when doing hydroponics. So maximum yields are possible. Then can this thing leave my screen so I can continue? Good. Please, those sending chat, I don't know, it's popping on my screen. If you can just wait or send it inbox to her or to Chioma. Then the next one is there is serious conservation of water and nutrients in all hydroponic systems. Let me explain this. If it says about 94% usage of water, what I mean by this is this: if you are pumping 10,000 liters to irrigate your soil farming in a day, with hydroponics, you will not even pump up to 1,000 liters. So you can imagine the amount you are going to save on energy, on fuel, on water pump, time wasted on pumping this water. The reason is because when it's in a hydroponics, the water is in a bucket or it's in a barrel. Those aluminum barrels you saw, it doesn't go anywhere. But when it's on soil, as you irrigate it, most of them get leached away. Most of them follow underground and go and disappear. So sun evaporates some and the rest. But when it's hydroponic, the water is there. You don't waste it. The same thing goes with nutrients. When you put fertilizer on soil and you water it, most of these fertilizer get leached away. Plants do not take even up to 2% of the fertilizer you put on the soil. But when it's hydroponic, you put exactly what you need. If you are farming on soil with 1 bag of fertilizer, for example, with hydroponic, you don't need even up to 1 cup, drink water cup, 1 cup of fertilizer with hydroponic. So you can imagine the savings on nutrients and the savings on water with hydroponic system. Then all the soil-borne diseases, of course, are already eradicated with hydroponic system of farming. Let's go to the next slide. The advantages continue. That is slide 45. Okay. You have more complete control of the environment when it's hydroponics, unlike when it's on soil. What I mean by complete control of the environment is this. There are some people who do soil farming, and they will tell you they are farming organic. They will tell you it's organic because the fertilizer they are putting on the soil is actually organic fertilizer. So they will tell you they are doing organic farm. But it's actually not true because there are other heavy metals in the soil that the plant pick up in the process of its growth. We have lead in the soil. We have mercury. We have other metals that plant can take. You do not put it in the soil, but it's actually in the soil. But when it's hydroponic, it's inside water you are putting your nutrients. So you are sure of what is inside the water. Because first of all, before you start, you do water analysis. You know what is in your water. Purify it before you now add nutrients. So when you are doing hydroponic and you want to do organic, your fruit comes out 100% organic. If you want to do synthetic fertilizer, if you want to use synthetic fertilizer, your fruit comes out 100% synthetic chemical produce. If you want to blend it, you use 50-50 or 20-30, whatever you want to use. You know exactly what you are putting into your water, and that is what your fruit will become. It's just like garbage in, garbage out. What you give is what you take with hydroponics. But with soil, you cannot hit your chest and say that. All right. Then other advantage is that those who are not experts in farming can also adopt hydroponics. You don't need scientific knowledge. All you just need is common sense to do hydroponics. Just know just have common sense. You don't need to be highly educated, because the way I'm saying it now, it looks like it's something very difficult. It's not. Just know that there is also number of kg of nutrients I have to add into so quantity of water. Dilute it and add, and that is all. What else is there? Nothing. So you see how easy it is to do hydroponics. It's only a bit difficult in the setup, but once you finish setting up your system, managing it is as easy. It's easier than soil farming. So let's go to the disadvantage. So one of the major disadvantages of hydroponic farm is that it's actually capital intensive to set up. Okay, yeah, it's not when it's soil farming. You just go to your farm and till it and plant. But when it's hydroponic, now you now start looking for how to buy those buckets in case you want to use buckets, or how to buy those aluminum barrels, how to set up a greenhouse, and the rest of the thing. So it's actually capital intensive to start hydroponics. Another one is that to train, you need highly trained personnel. You need to train your people that will come and set up the farm for you. Managing it is not a problem. The setting up that is a problem. So you need to be trained on how to set it up. Train in the sense that you need to know where to drill, you need to where to cut open, you need to know where to connect, and all those things. It's not very difficult, but you just need the training. It's one of the disadvantage. You can't just get up and start doing hydroponics. Another challenge is that this chart. Another disadvantage is that if disease finds its way into your farm, let's say it enters one of the barrel, it's definitely going to affect all the crops in that same barrel. So it is better for you to prevent disease than manage disease in hydroponics. And to prevent disease is very easy. The water you're going to feed to your farm, make sure you are sure of the source of your water. That is the only way disease can enter your farm. That is why I recommend, anytime you want to do hydroponic, make sure you use only borehole water or well water. Don't go and be fetching water from stream or rafi. No, use well water or borehole water where you know the source of your water that is safe. There is no way disease will enter your farm. All right. And then as per the business aspect of the hydroponics, can we do a little calculation together? If you are listening to me, you can pick up your book. I've even done the calculation already for us before. Yes. I wanted to talk about the person I'm hearing his voice. Can you mute his mic? His sound has been entering since. So as per this, whether it's lucrative or not, I will encourage you to also do your own personal research on hydroponic produce. If you harvest bell pepper and take it to market from hydroponic farm, and somebody harvests bell pepper from soil, the way they will rush your own and forget about the soil own, you will think the person brought reject to market, because hydroponic produce are fresh, big, succulent, heavy, and thick, and they have longer shelf life If you harvest produce from soil and keep it within 3 days, it will start biodegrading. But the one from hydroponics stays over 7 days and up to 2 weeks before you even notice you've cut it off from its plant, before it will start shrinking, then biodegrading. So now, in terms of business aspects, the calculation, the potential of return on investment, I will calculate for you using the land size of 50 feet by 100 feet. 50 feet by 100 feet land can house a greenhouse of 50 feet by 100 feet. Then that same size of 50 by 100 feet greenhouse can accommodate 5,508 plants. But let's just work with 5,500 plants. In one plant, you are going to get, if you Google it, just Google the production capacity of bell pepper plants in kg. You will see some return will give you 5 kg, some will tell you are going to harvest up to 15 kg, some will tell you harvest up to 4 kg, some will tell you it's 2 kg per plant in 6 months. But I want to work with 2 kg per plant, which is the least you will see online. In fact, let's even work with 1 kg. That is the safest, and there is no way you not make 1 kg from one plant, even if you calculate to 1 kg. 1 kg meaning you have 5,500 kg per plant, and 1 kg of this pepper in Lagos is 7,000 naira per kg. Port Harcourt is 6,500. That, I'm telling you what we are selling. In Onitsha is 5,000 naira per kg. In Owerri, we are selling 4,500 naira per kg of bell pepper. I'm telling you, you can go to your own local market and find out. But let's calculate with 4,000 naira, which is the least possible, which is the just price, because Jos is home for bell pepper. So it's the cheapest place you can get pepper in the whole Nigeria. So let's work with 4,000 naira per kg. 4,000 naira times 5,500 plants, you are going to have 22 million naira. This money is what you make from the first 6 months, because one plant cycle is 6 months. So after that one, you plant again, meaning in a year you have 2 cycles. And that 2 cycle is 44 million naira. But to set up this size of farm, everything you need, including the greenhouse itself, the barrels, the seed, the nutrients, everything you need to set up the farm, you will not spend even up to 20 million naira. Apart from the cost of your land, and then probably fencing the land, and then having your borehole. I'm talking of everything inside the greenhouse. You will not spend even up to 20 million. In fact, the standard price as of today is 17.8 million. That is what you need to set up one greenhouse. But within the first 6 months, you are making 22 million. And then you replant again for the second season. And that second season, you are not spending up to 2 million because the only thing you need to get again is the seed and the nutrients. That is the only thing you are reinvesting on. Every other thing is reusable. Some last for 10 years, like the solar rig for the greenhouse lasts for 10 years. The galvanized pipes used in making the greenhouse, some last for 20 years. The net cups, they last for almost 10 years. What else is there? The cocoa pit, all those things, they are reusable for many years, for a long time, before you spend money buying them again. Except after usage, you throw them away. So in a year, you are 100% sure of doubling your investment. This is something I'm into, I'm not blabbing. But it's also something you can find out yourself. Google it. How many kg can we get in one plant? And how much is 1 kg? All these informations are out there. Then you extrapolate it with getting 5,500 plant population in that same space. All right. So this is where I think I will draw the curtain for this presentation, expecting questions. And please, any question you have, just ask it. No matter how the question is, even if you think it's a stupid question, ask it. It will help me, it will also help you. Just ask your question so I have an in-depth knowledge of what hydroponics is all about. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Like, wow. Oh my God. Okay, we can see Ambassador Ipalibo's hand up. Kindly.
My hand is up too, but I can't find the hand symbol.
Okay. All right. So after Ambassador Ipalibo, that is Madudoye. You can talk, Mr. Binaka. All right, you've got the floor, Mr. Godspower, Ambassador Godspower. Go ahead and let's hear your question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, all the speakers, and thank you, Mr. Lisa, the last speaker. You've spoken so well, and being innovative in this space is very important. Now, my question is, from what you have explained and the calculation that is given, does it mean that, like going to, we talk about homestead, because one of the things, I'm a business development consultant, and so one of the things in business is that it is safe, especially when you're going into a new terrain, it's very safe to start very small, even if you have all the farm. You start very small, and then you begin to grow gradually as you learn on the job, and then you gather your experiences. And so you have a very solid foundation. So is it possible to start very small? Because you mentioned 50 feet by 100 feet greenhouse, and then you can start that with about 17 point something million. Can you do subsistence, homestead? Can you just do experiment? Can you just start almost from nothing and begin to grow it? That's one. Then two, how do we, in case somebody here wants to come to your farm, who is already in farming, but wants to come to your farm, but is not in hydroponics, but would like to leverage on this very great opportunity to come to your farm for, let's say, to let's say for a
Network is beginning to break, but I heard the two questions you asked. Can I go ahead and start responding?
Yeah, please go ahead and respond.
Okay. Sir, towards the ending of your question, I didn't get it very well, but I'll try to answer it the way I heard it. Then if it's not satisfactory, you can ask again. The first question he asked is it possible to start small? Yes, it's very, 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 and very possible to start small. I myself started with just 108 plants, just 36 buckets. Each bucket was having 3 holes. I showed us the picture here, right? So you can start with even one single bucket with 3 plants to start practicing until you perfect it before you go full scale. So you can start even with a single plant, just get a single bucket, put 1 plant in it. So at whatever scale you want to start with, you can start with, sir. Then, as per visiting, I think you asked the question, is it possible to visit my farm even if the person is not into hydroponics, to visit the farm? All you do is, although I prefer that anybody that wants to visit our farm should come to Jos, Plateau State. That is where our mainstay is. All right? That is where my office is, in Jos. But then, if you want to visit anyone that is close to you, the only thing you need to do is to give us notice on time about your coming, and then we'll make arrangements for somebody that will receive you and take you around the farm. But as per the one in Jos, you can come at any time, except if you want to see me in person, then you have to inform me on time that you are coming, so I'll be available for you. But if you just want to see the farm, no problem, you can come. Somebody will take you to the farm and attend to you, whether you're interested in hydroponics or not. Of course, we are into farming and we are open to all kind of farming. Just that we are concentrating on hydroponics for now, but we have potential to increase our horizon, to broaden our horizon. So I don't know if that answered the second question, because I didn't hear towards the ending very well.
Okay, that's fine. We can see some other person's hands up, but before we attempt that, let's look at the questions on the chat. Someone says, is Gaikon hydroponic systems only adapted to just climate? That's one question. The second question is, okay, someone is saying you can drop your questions on the chat, and that's a very good idea. So if you're having challenge with the network, or if you want your question to be attended to quickly, you could drop it on the chat. It will definitely be attended to. And someone is asking, what's the name of your farm, sir? Okay, so
Okay, let me just answer this one before we continue, so it not be too much on me. The name of my farm is Gaikon Hydroponics. We are verified on Google. The name is Gaikon, Gycon. It's just simply mean good yielding company, Gycon. So Gaikon Hydroponic Farm is the name of our company. Then the first question I just skipped. What is the first question again, ma, please? Okay, the question says, is it working only with just weather? No. Like I explained earlier, we have farm in Onitsha. You can come and see it. We have in Lagos, we have in Owerri, we have in Port Harcourt. Not inside Port Harcourt town anyway. Obehe, if you know Obehe. Obehe is a satellite town between Port Harcourt and Aba. Obehe, we have in Obehe, we have in Abuja. So it's not only just weather. You can have hydroponic farm anywhere, like I said, even where it's not fashionable to do so. What's the next question?
Another question here. Another question says, what about those who want to start? I think you've answered this. Who want to start just for home consumption only before going commercial? Is there a small way to doing this? I like the area that we get real organic via hydroponics than via soil farming. Thank you, sir. Okay, this question has been answered before. And someone is asking,
let me
is
just
hydroponics
add.
farming?
Sorry, ma. Let me just add to that one. Let me add to the one of, can the person start small? Like I said, yes, you can start small, but note that there are some pests and diseases in the air that you need to protect your crops from. So you need to have a mini greenhouse, no matter how small it is, for that small scale you want to start. But if it happens to be that you don't want to have a greenhouse at all, then you place your crops where it will not be too exposed to attack from the environment, because the crops from hydroponic look very sweet, attractive, even to insects. The way you as a human being would like it, that is the way insects and other animals would like it. They will want to go and feast on it. All right, so you keep it where it will be protected, at the same time having access to sunlight. All right, next question, man.
Is hydroponics farming same as greenhouse farming?
Oh, okay.
And then secondly,
greenhouse. Okay.
The nutrients you use for the plants, is it organic or inorganic?
Okay.
And then somebody wants to know the cost for startup.
Is hydroponic farm a greenhouse farm? Greenhouse is just a structure, is a building whereby the upper part, which is, if it's a house, the zinc part, is covered with a transparent material. You can use any material that is transparent that will allow sun to go through, but will not allow rain to go through. So you can use nylon, leather, waterproof, polyethylene, solaric, anything at all you can use on the up. The side is covered with net to allow for wind and ventilation to enter the farm. So if you have such building, that is greenhouse already. Then if you are farming on soil inside that building, that is not hydroponics. Hydroponics is when you are farming on water inside the building. When you are farming on anything other than soil, but inside the building, that is hydroponics. Then I've already answered the question of if you want to start, how much. I've explained it. You can start with any amount, any size you want. But if you want to do size of 50 feet by 100 feet, you need about that 17 M. But then you can do half of it, you can do quarter of it, you can do just 10% of it. I just put that amount to give us an idea, so that you will not use it to know the size you have and your capital strength and what you should be expecting to get from it. All right, so that is that. And the third question you asked, I've forgotten it, please remind me.
The nutrients you use for the plant,
Good.
Is it organic
Good.
or inorganic?
I explained earlier, it's totally up to you, the farmer or the investor. You are the one that knows what you want to do. If you want organic, you will use organic. If you want synthetic nutrient, that is artificial chemical fertilizer, you use chemical fertilizer. All of them are available and they are usable in hydroponics. For us, of course, there is advantage and disadvantage of using any of them. Synthetic or chemical fertilizer, your plants grow faster and bigger and everything. Hydroponics, they don't grow as fast as synthetic, but the fruits are healthier. All right. And then the production is also not as bountiful as chemical fertilizer. But we are business people. In Nigeria, if you farm organic and take your tomato to market, it's very few people that will pay you more because it's organic. No, most people no send for Nigeria. If your target market is export, it's good if you do organic. When you go to US, you buy organic produce, very expensive compared to synthetic produce. But us, I'm not supposed to divulge it, but I will tell you because I'm not scared of it. In Gaikon Hydroponic, we do 50-50. 50% organic, 50% synthetic. That is what we do. And it might interest you. This is a public space. So I will say it without fear. It might interest you to know that somebody, when I started newly, somebody reported us that someone who don't know what hydroponic is, I'm talking about as far back as 12 years ago, said that we are producing a food that can cause cancer and reported us to NAFDAC. NAFDAC came and picked our product, without even telling me that they are from NAFDAC. And then after the analysis, the report I got is that comparing our produce with the produce out there in the market, our own is better. In fact, that was when they now told me that they're actually from NAFDAC. But they came as normal people to buy our produce and left. So even with the 50-50 that we are mixing, our produce still the best compared to what is available in the market, health-wise. Yes. So it's not your choice to know whether you do organic or synthetic. It's totally up to you. All right.
Okay. Somebody's asking, is there an already made greenhouse for sale for people who are starting from home backyard? I mean, home consumption, meaning mini greenhouse.
Okay. The standard greenhouse in the market, if you want already made, is 50 by 100 feet or 35 feet by 100 feet. Is it 35 or 34? It's actually 10 meters. Sorry, 33. Yes, 10 meter by 30 meter, which in feet is 33 feet by 99 feet, which is by 100 feet. All right. So these are the only two majorly that are in the market. But you can also get 8 meter by 24 meter size of greenhouse. Any other size you need will have to be constructed for you.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll move over to those raising their hands. Mr. Dinaka. Mr. Dinaka, let's hear your question, please.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Mr. Christian, for the undiluted lecture. So my question is there any arrangement for like partnership for somebody that is interested but doesn't have the time for it? That's the first question. That's somebody that is interested but doesn't have time. Or like put it, is your business kind of, if someone, is it something like is in the stock market? That's first question. Then the second question is that when you said something about when you started that the plants, everything was looking okay, but it wasn't producing. So I would like to know what you did that, you know, the second phase in your journey of the hydroponics that made it to start producing. And then the third question is, you know, the hydroponic, you made mention about the using borehole, you know, source of water. I was thinking that the water is something that is stagnant. So I would like just for you to throw a few light on that. Thank you.
Okay. Let me start from the last. Yes, you just need a verified source of water that you are sure what is in it, not stream water, not river, but like borehole or well. And if it's where you cover it, Every time you know what if your well is salty, it will be salty throughout, of course. If it's clean, it will be clean throughout. But if it's from river, today you may fresh water, it will have the ppm of maybe 20. Tomorrow you fetch it will have ppm of 100. So your water will keep changing, and that will affect your crop. That is the reason why I said just get a correct source of water. Then you asked of what I did different. During the presentation,
Yes.
I said that I was doing Kratky method. The plants were growing, they were doing okay. But the moment I refill the water, they die. And I said, I will explain later, or anybody who is interested, because that process, that explanation will take longer time, of why they are dying. But just note that if you are doing Kratky system of farming, once you put water and plant, don't refill it. Once you refill it, it dies. This was what we battled with for almost a year. We didn't even know what was killing our plant until we go back to our drawing table and discover what was causing it. Then we now introduce those hosts. If you saw what I used to connect the buckets, then we now blended Kratky method with ebb and flow method, and that solved the problem. So that was what we did. Then about investments, yes, we are very, very open to investments, but we are not quoted yet on stock exchange or Nigerian stock exchange. But we are open for investment, though we have basically just one condition, and that one condition is a bit difficult for most people to meet. Our investment pattern is one greenhouse. If you want to invest with us, you must come with one greenhouse. So whatever it is, I say one greenhouse, it has to be a whole greenhouse. So it's either one greenhouse or two greenhouse or three. So if it costs us 10 million naira to set up one greenhouse, you are coming with 10 million naira. If you do not have it, you source within your friends, as in form your own clique and come with one name and invest in one greenhouse. Do you understand it? If we do not accept things like, okay, I have 5 million I want to send to you. I have 10 million I want to send to you. I have 12 million I want to send to you. I have 20 I want to send. No. What we do is at the time you are willing to invest, we calculate what it costs to set up one greenhouse and tell you. Then you bring it. That is when we know, because we like to know exactly what we are giving you. We know what one greenhouse gives us. So we know exactly what to promise you. But when you say you are coming with less than that, the calculation will now start altering. This person is earning different, this person is earning different. It causes confusion for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. So we give the
Sorry,
floor
please,
open
one more
to
question.
barrister.
One more question. Can someone visit I'm in Lagos and I would like to visit the location in Lagos. How can it be arranged?
Okay. Our location in Lagos is in Ekpe Ijebode Expressway. After Ekpe to Ijebode, before Nigerian Breweries, there is one village called Yomoji. That is where the farm is. So when you can get my number and then I'll direct you.
Okay. We'll take it
Yes.
after the.
Then
Okay,
we
good.
also have another farm we are currently setting up in Ikeja. Sorry, not Ikeja, Lekki. So, but that one we've not gone far. But that one is bigger, of course. The one in there is a small farm. So if you want to see something more significant, just be a little patient. Let's finish the one in Lekki. You can visit that one. It's your choice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Somebody has mentioned. I saw somebody mentioning training. If you are open to training, leveraging on this platform. I think I saw a lady asking that question on the platform. And again, do you have this hydroponics farm in Port Harcourt? Because I am based in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Are you open to mentorship? Are you open leveraging this platform?
Yeah.
I think that's what the lady is asking.
Yes, we do organize training. But then our training is planned. It's not based on demand. It's based on our own company plan. Sometimes we do create time to host the training 2 times in a year. Sometimes it's only once in a year. Last year we did it 2 times, but this year it's most likely we're going to do only once. And that may be around ending June or early July. That is when we're organizing the training for this year. That is for the physical training. But for the online training, that one is ongoing at any time from anywhere you can access that training, the online one. You go to our online academy and you access the training. But for the physical training, you have to come to our farm in Jos. Your accommodation is organized, is arranged for you. Your transportation is arranged for you. Your feeding. Every morning, there is a ride that will come and pick you from your hotel room to a training venue, then take you to the farm, and then return you back to your hotel room. If you now want to go anywhere after that, you're on your own. But this movement is already organized, arranged, and planned for you. Everything, you'll be giving your starter packs, you'll be giving your training materials, you'll be giving certificate at the end of the day. Certificate is endorsed by a reputable organization. In case along the line you want to source for loan or anything, is endorsed by Blue Algorithm. Then the most important is that after the training, you are given a starter pack. A starter pack is complete set of everything you need, from the bucket to the net cups to the seed to the nutrient to the everything you need to start your farm, but on a small scale. You will start with at least 9 plants. So after the training, you are definitely going home with these starter packs to go and start practicing what you learned until you have money to venture into full-scale farming.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's allow Barrister Ukebu to ask his question quickly, so that we could round up this training.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's a good presentation. My question is, the cost of setting up. I heard you mention 17-20 million. And I also heard you say one planting season lasts for 6 months. Is the cost a definite cost, amount of money for the period of that planting season, or there are other additional money that will come thereafter?
Okay.
That is one. Then two, Nigeria now is faced with issues between farmers and herders and all that. So I would assume that this kind of farming will only happen in a closed environment, isn't it? So if you want to do large-scale farming, hydroponic farming, can you do it in an open space? Because the problem we have in large-scale farming is, trying to fence up the place, security issues and all that. So these are my 2 questions, please. And again, the last one, please, is about, it seems that there are specific crops you have to grow in this kind of farming. So which one is the most yield that one can grow, and to make good profit? Thank you very much.
Okay. The first question is the investment a one-time investment? Is 17 million or 20 million naira? Yes, it's a one-time investment. This is an aggregate of everything you will spend taking care of the plant till the point you start harvesting, till you start making money from the farm. This everything related into including the nutrients it will take you to that time, the medicine, this thing you spray to that time, everything you need is in this amount that you be given. But then your cost of labor, that is your staff payment, is not included. Your borehole cost, what it will cost you to sink a borehole, what it will cost you to fence the land, and what it will cost you to build probably a storehouse or a security post or whatever is not included in this amount. Then the next question is about security. You see, this one is peculiar to your own environment now. It's a matter of where you plan to set up your farm. You do your own environmental scanning and see how prone it is to attack by hoodlums. But from my experience, none of our farm has been attacked so far, including our personal farm and people's farm that we're consulting. Some are in forests, some are in bushes, some are in town, some are even in people's compound. Like the one in Asaba is in the person's compound. The one in Ole Delta State is in a bush, and nothing has ever happened to them. All right. Then your last question as to kind of crops. Yes, you know this is hydroponics. The root is inside water. So root crops will be difficult to grow with using this system of farming. Because if you are doing things like yam now, yam will be soaked in the water. It will spoil. Cassava will be soaked in the water. It will spoil, definitely. But every other thing that what you intend to benefit out of it is on the surface, be it leafy greens or fruity vegetables, corn, or as long as you're looking for is on the surface, you can farm with hydroponics, including in case. In fact, you can even farm, let me surprise you. You can farm apple using hydroponics. We've done can as long as you have a way to anchor that tree, suspend the tree on the water, it will grow hydroponically. That is how good hydroponic is.
Okay, so finally, sir, in terms of commercial quality, going into commercial farming, would you advise owning a land or leasing a land?
It depends on the mission and vision of your company. If you something you intend to do for a long period of time, it's better you own the land. If he's leasing, I don't know the arrangement. Is it going to be 10 years leasing, 20 years leasing? If yes, and you see the money is economical for you, why not? The major thing that we were interested in is give us somewhere to put greenhouse for you. But then I will always advise outright purchase, of course.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Powerful. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Christian, the smart farmer, Christian Wolisa. This is mind blowing. Now there are questions here. Someone is saying, are there, please, those in other locations, what's the plan? Like in Owerri, any physical training opportunity? Any physical training opportunity?
Okay.
Okay, so
let me explain that. We can organize a training in Owerri or any other place outside Jos. But the challenge is the number of turnouts, because I've explained now that we do provide accommodation, we do provide transportation, we do provide auto, and then if after it all you have 20 people turning out for the training, we as the facilitators may end up adding our own money to it. We may not make anything. In fact, we run at a loss. So if there is enough publicity and there is a prospect that will get at least 30 people in Owerri to attend the training, why not? We'll come and deliver the training there.
okay, thank you. So, Madam, God knows, we can work on getting prospects, people who may be interested in learning hydroponics.
Please.
Then we can organize that he comes. Then Mr. Katie.
Then I was logged out. I'm so sorry.
Do you have no problem? Do you have a farm in Abuja? We can hear you, Mr. Jasper. We can hear you. So sorry
Please,
that you were logged out.
I like innovations. Yes, I like innovations, and I really thank you, Madam Chairman, and the great speakers. I like to find out, because at a point they messed up on my end. Now, the training in Jos, and he said it's in June. That's good. That's quite the time to plan and then round off some of the things that you've already planned to do. Now, what is the training package? Because I heard him the last time we talked about the facilities from hotel and all of that. What's the whole package? And how many more? What's the duration? What's the cost? And all of that. So if I have to leave Port Harcourt to Jos, that's a very big journey. So one can start planning and all that. It's They just know what's involved. Yeah. And if it's something that one will have to do or not. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gosper. We'll answer this question via DM, okay, because our time is far spent. Okay, I will give you his contact so that you can discuss in details. Anyone who is interested in the training can contact me. My number is on the DM. I will share his contact with you so that we can round up this training. It has really taken time. And if we keep quiet, if we don't control this, hydroponics farming will take even till 9 p.m. we have not finished. So let's round up. All right. So what are the next steps?
That's true. Let's close.
Yeah. Yeah. So Barrister,
please,
I'm sorry.
Please, ma, let me add this. Ma, please let me say this, please. Please, anybody who wants to contact me, please, I'm not trying to be to have pride now. I am always super busy. You may call me on phone, I will not pick. You will not feel I'm ignoring you, I'm looking down on you. Please don't feel so. The best way to reach me is to drop a message on WhatsApp. It may take me a while to get to you, but I will definitely get to you and I respond to you. So if you are dropping a message, just ask any question you want all at once. So when I come to your page, I'll respond to all them all at once. Okay? If you cannot get me on phone, drop message on WhatsApp. It's always better. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much, Smart Farmer Christian Wolves. We appreciate you. Thank you, and we appreciate all our wonderful, speakers. They've been amazing. You agree with me that our speakers have been amazing, right? The mushroom farmer, the beekeeper, the poultry farmer. These are amazing experts in this field. So nothing stops you from investing in any or every of these value chains in agriculture. We encourage every one of us. The only thing that can stop us is us. You are the only person that can stop you. Okay. So now is the best time to start that agro business. Now is the time to make that investment. So how do you start eventually? Just choose your preferred agro business niche. You can decide that you want to start your mushroom farming. Amazing profit is there. You can decide you want to start your bee farming. You want to start your poultry business. Okay, or you want to start hydroponics. Any of the options, you are in good hands. So all you just need to do is register for a mentorship program. Register for a mentorship program with us, or if you want a guide, a consultation guide, we are here to offer it. Just send me a DM. I'll drop my number here. I'm going to drop it again. And we're going to put you through, we're going to connect you to whoever you want to communicate with, and we'll put you through. And then if you want to develop a simple business plan with expert help, we are here to help you do that. Okay. And we can give you the information. If you don't have your funds, we can give you the information on how you can source funds. And like I said earlier, the only thing we can do now is to take action. Take action. The only person that can stop you is you. Take action. And the right way to take action is to start with the right foundation. Okay. Start with the right foundation. We cannot overemphasize the cost of going in without expert mentorship. The cost is so terrible. Not only will you waste capital, there are so many things that you will encounter as no business. So the solution is to get our Agri Inspire mentorship and consultation guide today. We are here to help you get started. So why do you need it? You need us because you need us to make the right decision in choosing the right agro sector based on the profitability and demand. You need us in order to avoid making costly mistakes. And you also need us in order to help you and guide you in taking the step-by-step action plan tailored to your goal. Okay, so the best time to start is now. And like we already know, Imo State offers vast agro investment opportunities. This is only but part one. I told you guys, right? This is part one. We cannot exhaust it. Very soon we'll come with part two, and then we'll learn more. Okay, the opportunities in the agro sector is so vast. Okay, if you focus on one or you focus on many, you are sure to be on the profit sector and on the profit mode. So investors can leverage on our support, either our mentorship or consultation program, and you can also leverage on the market demand. The best time to take action is now. Now. Take action now. Secure your place in the growing agribusiness sector. I know that a lot of us still have questions to answer, but permit me to end this webinar here. We have overstretched it. If you have further questions, I promise you we're going to answer it. Just go to my WhatsApp, drop your questions, and we'll respond, okay? And that will be it. On this, at this point, I want to say a very huge thank you to every one of us. Thank you for your time. I see that we stayed to the end. Wow. Thank you so very much for your time. I really do appreciate you all. God bless you. Real good. Thank you. All right. Our webinar. That's me, Koshama Perpetua, saying bye. So you can on your video and tell us bye so we can see you. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Love you all, man. Bye. Okay.